Hey, Ralph, you good?
Thanks, Brian. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Monday, November 30th, 2020 Wall Township Board of Education special meeting. Please stand for the flag salute. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Smythe, could we have the sunshine statement and roll call, please?
Yes, this is the Wall Township Board of Education meeting. This is a special meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meeting Act was provided by a notice in the Co-Star on November 26, 2020, by written notice to the Asbury Park Press, Township Clerk's Office, all Wall Township Public Schools, and in the Board Administration Office on November 25th, 2020. Roll call, Mr. Gartz.
Here.
Mr. Hall.
He has an excused absence.
Mr. Krupa. Ms. Mangan.
Here.
Mr. Nasser.
Here.
Mr. Sanfilippo.
Here.
Ms. Stites.
Here.
Mr. Wondrak. And Mr. Agnesiu.
Here. Thank you. All right. At this time, we will move on to public comment for agenda action items only. Please raise your hand and please give us the number of the action item that you are referring to.
Hi, Betsy Cross. I don't have it. I'm looking at the screen, so I don't have it. All I can say is I'm very glad that the district is now hiring some nurses. Not really sure when you say temporary, could you just go over that a little bit more and explain for everyone what those nurses are going to be doing, how long they're going to be working for, and things like that. I think I recall bringing up that you should have bought nurses back in March, April, May, June, July. I'm not sure what the board was doing and what Mr. Graham was doing, but you should have got them a long time ago. It's November 30th. So I'm glad that Dr. Handerhan has suggested that you hire them. Custodians, I don't know. I think I've mentioned that before as well about hiring custodians, but I don't think I see any on the list. And then if you could give an update on your COVID cases.
That's not on the agenda this evening, Ms. Cross.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, Ralph. I think there's a meeting. It's a special meeting. I think
So you can make those comments at the second public comment.
Well, you're hiring nurses. So all I'm saying is you should go over why you're hiring them and go over the pandemic numbers for each school. That would be helpful. I just printed this off. Yeah, I see the Human Resources Secretary. Sorry to see Simone leave. And then if we can get an update on, I don't see on the agenda hiring the assistant superintendent. So maybe if we can get an update on that, unless it's going to be a hand carry tonight or something. I've literally just logged on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment on agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment. We will move on to number 6, recommended approval of the Human Resources report. With that, could I have a motion? Mr. Krupa is here.
I'll make the
Was
motion.
that a motion, Andy? That's a motion by Mr. Krupa. Could I have a second? Second by Mr. Nazar. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Gartz.
Yes.
Mr. Krupa. Mr. Krupa.
Still can't hear you.
can read lips. Thank you. I'm going to go with that's the affirmative. Ms. Mangan,
Yes.
Mr. Nasser,
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Yes.
Ms. Stites,
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio.
Yes. Thank you.
Mr. Adenizio, I would
Yes,
just like
Councilmember.
I do just want to extend my appreciation to the Board of Education for assembling tonight to approve the items on the HR agenda. These are very important positions, and certainly the positions of the substitute nurses that we'll be calling in on a per diem basis will definitely certainly support our efforts and support the nurses in this district. So I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. And just with that, I have a question for Mr. Scarillo in regards to the sidebar that's being worked on. Just a quick update on that for the
Yes.
existing nurses.
So for the existing nurses, we have received information from the association. I know there's been some discussions between the superintendent's office and Gail Mayer Association president with respect to a memorandum of agreement. That memorandum of agreement is going to be presented to the personnel committee at the board meeting of December the 8th, or prior to the board meeting of December the 8th. And then we anticipate taking action on that probably on December the 15th, if not before then.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you,
But
Dr.
the draft is done, Mr. President, and ready to go to the personnel committee.
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, at this time we will open up for public comment. Please raise your hand.
Hi, Betsy Cross. I live in Wall. Just wanted to go over the mercury at the high school. I never did get an answer. I've been asking this, I think, for 6 months now. Could you explain how that mercury got into the building? Was it when Mr. Smythe purchased the floor in 2011 with Mr. Havel? Like, where did that mercury come from, since gym floors didn't have mercury in them? So if you could answer that tonight. I know Mr. Smythe is there and he's on camera. So could you tell us when did you know that the floor had mercury? I've asked this now since June. And
Ms.
Mr.
Cross,
Ford-
that question's been answered, and that was answered in.
All
when,
right, answer it tonight, because I do not have a record of it. So
Well,
on the record, answer it tonight. Thank
So
you.
Mr. Scarillo, would you like
I'm going
to?
to ask Mr. Smythe not to answer that question because I'm not sure of the nature of that question. It appears that it poses two possible answers. So I'm going to, I want the opportunity to talk to Mr. Smythe so I have an understanding as to the installation of the floor and other things going around that. I'm not cognizant of all those facts without looking at the report and without talking to Mr. Smythe. So I am directing him not to answer that question.
And then what, you'll get back to me, Mr. Scarillo? I just, after 6 months or 7 months now, I just asked that simple question. Did a wood floor go over a floor that had the mercury in it? It's pretty simple. I've asked.
So
it.
I will speak to Mr. Smythe and I will get back to you one way or the other on an answer on that question.
Right, yeah, I mean, I'd like it back in writing. So, Mr. Adenizio, I don't know what you were talking about because you haven't answered the question. I've asked the same question over and over again. Mr. Guards had a secret meeting on June 4th. We still don't have the minutes.
There was
So
no
I
secret
guess-
meeting, Ms. Cross, to clarify. There was no secret meeting.
Okay, well, there's no minutes. So what I'm gonna do tonight is I will email you all again and I'll put in I've asked for them probably 5 times. You can't have meetings and not have minutes. And it's to do with the Mercury Gym floor. And I'm not sure who it falls under. If it falls under the GRC, if it falls under the prosecutor's office, whoever it is, they'll get a copy of it. Because I've asked for this over and over and over again to Erin Mangan, to Christine Stites, to Adam Nasser. I kept saying, post the minutes. And here it is, November 30th, and you still don't have the minutes posted from your secret meeting.
Ms. Cross, it
Obviously
was not a
secret.
secret meeting.
Well, there's no minutes. So
you
it's
incorrectly
everything you
state that.
discussed. Everything discussed in the meeting, we don't even know who was there, Ralph, because there's no minutes. So were you there, Ralph? Ralph, were you at the secret meeting?
Ms. Cross,
Ms. Cross, there was no secret meeting.
This is Mr. Scarillo. Ms. Gross, we hear your question. We understand your question. I'm going to direct that no one answer that question at this time.
Okay, Mr. Scarillo, I need the minutes. We need the minutes from that meeting of June 4th for a floor purchase with Mercury in July of 2011 that was in the lease agreement with the trailers taken out of the lease agreement. We just need answers. It's ridiculous that we're still talking about this, just like the trailers. There's so much information on the trailers. The investigation needs to be in 3 parts and everything will be disclosed. Mr. Smythe still hasn't answered simple questions asked to him August 20th, 2019. And the board allows it. It's outrageous. And, this country is just turning into a real mess. And it all starts with your local committee. It starts here. I fear for my child. Because I don't think you guys do, because I don't see it at all. That is all I have. Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
Anisio,
Yes, Mr. Gartz.
I'm not answering any questions, but I would just like to say that the meeting minutes for the Finance and Facility Committee are all on the board's website. I'm looking at them right now. Thanks.
Thank you. I thought so as well, but that's okay. Is there anybody else for public comment? Okay. Seeing none, we will close public comment. Any board members, did you have anything this evening? Miss anything? Nope. Okay.
Mr. Anisio?
Yes, Mr. Smythe, I'm sorry.
Don't want to go against board counsel with regard to recommendation of not answering questions, and I'm not answering any questions. I will clarify though, and it may have been a generous suggestion. I did not purchase any gym floors for the school district because it sounded as though I bought the gym floor and donated to the school district. I did not do that in 2011 or any time prior to that.
Thank you, Mr. Smythe. And also as to when we found out, I believe that was discussed numerous times. And that's why we had an extensive, we had a town hall meeting with Dr. Lynch on his findings and that. So with that, could we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Do we have to vote? Oh, we already voted. I'm sorry. Motion to adjourn.
No, we're done. Yeah,
Motion
we're
to
done.
adjourn. Motion to
Yes.
adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Gartz. Could I have a second?
A second.
Second by Mr. Sanfilippo. All in favor? All right. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening virtually. And stay dry. Have a good evening.
Good night, all.
Good night.